Come here, love. Closer. Sit where the branches dip low over us, where the moonlight touches the leaves. There you go. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, love, so I can whisper stories to you whenever the forest grows quiet again. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the truth about Circe, not the watered-down version mortals learn, not the heroic propaganda, not the dramatic sailor tales. I'm giving you the real Circe, the one gods whispered about behind closed doors, the one nymphs admired, the one mortals feared because they couldn't control her. Now sit still, love, because her story is not gentle. Circe was born in a palace of sunlight. Her father, Helios, the sun god, burned with pride. Her mother was a naiad, a river nymph who never forgot she married above her station. Olympus loves hierarchy more than harmony, you know. Circe grew up surrounded by golden halls, blazing fires, shining floors, but she always felt like a shadow in her own home. Her voice was too mortal, her magic too quiet, her curiosity too sharp, her emotions too honest. The gods mocked her softness, mocked her human-sounding cry, mocked the way her power didn't explode, it simmered. But love, the gods should have known better. It's always the quiet fire that burns the longest. One night, while wandering alone, Circe discovered a flower glowing in moonlight, a plant mortals feared, a plant gods ignored. But when she touched it, it trembled like it recognized her. She ground it with her hands, whispered to it, and felt magic respond. Not the flashy kind of magic the gods thrive on, not lightning or thunder or illusions. Something older, earthy, intimate, magic that worked because she willed it to. And with that discovery, Circe changed her destiny. When she used her magic on a man who humiliated her, Olympus panicked, not because she was wrong, but because she was right. Because a goddess stepping outside their hierarchy, no, they couldn't stand that. So they exiled her, sent her to Aiaia, an island surrounded by cliffs and storms. They thought it was a punishment. They thought isolation would break her. But Circe, she stepped onto that island, felt the soil beneath her, smelled herbs growing wild, heard the ocean humming secrets in her ear, and she smiled. Exile was the greatest blessing the gods ever gave her. She built her own home, Stone by stone, hand by hand, she tamed wolves, fed lions from her palms, learned every plant, every root, every venom, and every cure. She wrote her own power in the language of the earth. Her island became a museum of her independence, a sanctuary built by a woman the world tried to silence. Now love, this is where mortals start lying because they don't like what happens next. Men washed up on her shores, sailors, thieves, pirates, conquerors, the same type that think the world is theirs by default. They looked at her alone on her island and assumed she was prey. Circe knew that look. She'd seen it on Olympus. She'd seen it in her father's halls. She'd seen it her entire life. So she fed them, smiled, listened to their bragging, watched them ogle her like she was a prize, and then she turned them into pigs, not because she hated men, but because she hated entitlement. She hated greed wrapped in human skin. She hated the assumption that she owed them anything. She simply revealed the animal already inside. But Circe didn't turn good men into animals. No. Those who arrived humble, those who bowed to her home with respect, those who spoke softly to her lions, she let them stay human, fed them, protected them, sent them home with blessings. Circe didn't punish innocence. She punished arrogance. And then came Odysseus. Clever, broken, tired. A man whose eyes had seen too much war. He came prepared for a witch. He came ready for a fight. But she disarmed him without lifting a finger. They challenged each other, matched wits, matched tempers, matched loneliness. For a year they stayed together, sharing firelight, stories, lullabies, pain. Two survivors of divine cruelty, learning to breathe again. Circe knew he'd leave. Odysseus always ran from anything that felt like home. But she didn't cling, didn't beg, didn't curse him. She let him go because she refused to be another chain on a wandering man's ankle. But here's the secret you never hear. After Odysseus left, Circe didn't crumble. She blossomed. Mortals came to her island for cures, for guidance, for healing. She helped them, treated them, listened when no one else would. Gods came too, in secret, seeking favors, potions, warnings, afraid to admit they needed a woman they once exiled. And Circe, the forgotten daughter of the sun, became one of the most powerful beings in existence. She wasn't immortal because of her birth. She was immortal because of her choices, because she survived what should have destroyed her, because she turned loneliness into sovereignty, because she learned that isolation is not a curse, but a crucible. Her story is not one of punishment. It's one of transformation and love. If you ever feel like the world has pushed you to an island of your own, remember Circe. Remember that you can build a kingdom from the scraps they throw at you. Thank you for sitting with me tonight, love. Thank you for listening to my whispering leaves and the secrets they carry. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe so I can tell you another ancient truth in the soft dark of the forest. Good night, love. Sleep beneath the whisper of my branches.